Welcome back to our beginner tutorial series. Today, we are diving into one of the most powerful and fundamental concepts in R programming. Functions. Functions are essentially reusable blocks of code that perform a specific task, making your code cleaner, more organized, and much more efficient. Imagine you have a complex calculation, or a series of steps you need to perform multiple times in your R script. Instead of writing that same code over and over, you wrap it up into a function. This means reusability, write once, use many times. Readability, break down complex problems into smaller, manageable chunks. Maintainability, easier to debug and update code in one place. Organization, keeps your scripts tidy and logical. Think of it like a recipe. You have a recipe for baking cookies. Instead of listing all the steps every time you want to make cookies, you just say make cookies, and refer to the recipe. R comes packed with thousands of built-in functions that handle common tasks. You've probably already used many of them without even realizing. Notice how each function takes arguments, inputs, inside the parentheses and performs an action, often returning a result. We can explore a function's arguments and usage using the question mark operator. The real power comes from creating your own functions. The basic syntax for a user-defined function in R is displayed on screen. Let's create a simple function to calculate the area of a rectangle. Here, length and width are parameters. When we call the function, we pass arguments like 10 and 5 to those parameters. The return statement sends the area value back to where the function was called. This is a crucial concept, scope. Variables created inside a function exist only within that function. They are local to the function and disappear once the function finishes executing. This prevents unintended side effects. Let's explain this with an example. We define a global variable outside the function and assign it value of 100. Now, we create a function, and inside the function, we create a local variable, and assign it a value of x multiplied by 2, where x is the argument. Now we run the script. We run the function, and it returns the output 10. However, when we try to print local variable, it gives error. Because the local variable is defined inside the function, its scope is limited to that function only. When we print the global variable, it works fine because it is defined outside the function, so it has global scope. Return values. A function can explicitly return a value using return function. If return is not used, the function automatically returns the value of the last evaluated expression in the function body. It's good practice to use return for clarity, especially in larger functions. Here is an example of two types of returns: implicit return and explicit return. We can see implicit return the last evaluated expression. Explicit return the value that we return using the return function. Sometimes, you need a small function for a one-off task and don't want to bother giving it a name. These are called anonymous functions, or lambda functions in some other languages. They are created using function directly, often as an argument to another function. Here is an example. We have a list variable. We will use this anonymous function and double each element in each list item using this function. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more R tutorials.